Samantha Haynes, and I'm a dance teacher here in the OKC area. I am also a teaching artist for Arts Council OKC, and today our video is going to be a little different. It's geared towards other dance educators, but if you are not a dance educator, this might still be a really interesting video for you to watch. It's a little sneak peek inside of the dance teacher's brain as we figure out different ways that we can get our kids to go from one skill to the next and how we can get them to progress smoothly through all the levels. So today I'm joined by Riley. She's going to be my assistant, and we are going to be talking about introducing your students to leaps, how you introduce that at a very early age in the preschool world, and then getting them from just running and leaping over an object in the middle of the room all the way up to doing a nice clean preparation to going across the floor. So Riley, you ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, so at the very, very young age, our earliest class that I teach is like 3.5. And so for a lot of kids, this is their first experience in a dance classroom and their first experience leaping. So the prop that I like to use the most is just this nice squishy mat. And we'll have them all lined up on one side of the room, and I'll put this down in the middle of the room. Sometimes I have other props out too where they can stop and do different activities at different stations, but somewhere across the floor I usually have this set out, and they know that when they see this squishy mat, they're supposed to run and leap over it. So at this age, 3, 4, even 5 years old, it's very much, I don't really break it down. I just show it and then let them try it and explore. So I might go ahead and I'm so glad that Riley's in this video with me because Riley helps me with a lot of my preschool classes, so I'm actually gonna make her do all the leaping today. So I might have Riley demonstrate. She'll just run and leap across the floor. So all we're looking for is a transfer from one foot to the other. Ready? She goes run and leap. Beautiful. So I might show that a couple times to the kids, and then I'll let them try it. And sometimes at that very early age, they might run up to the mat and then stop and look at it. They might put their hand out and touch it, and then they might take one big step over it. And we cheer them on because all of that is good. All of that is exploring and good for their brains and good for their muscles. So we don't do a lot of negative feedback at that age. Everything is good pretty much, and we just give them as much positive reinforcement as we can. But our goal is to just keep practicing this skill until we see all of them cleanly execute a leap from one foot to the other. And then once we have perfected this skill, I'm gonna start making it a little more challenging. So sometimes this comes within the same season, with the same class. Once they're all leaping across nice and cleanly, we're gonna start working on right and left. And so for some kids at this age, they don't know their right from their left. So it's enough to go ahead and have them practice preparation for a leap. And that's just gonna be them pointing their right foot and saying, right foot ready. And if they point their right foot and they say right foot ready, oh, that's my left foot. Do I know right from left? Riley, you go ahead and demonstrate on this side. Riley's gonna point her right foot just like if she was one of the students in my classes. She's gonna put her arms out in her T, and she's gonna say, right foot ready. Oh, you didn't say right foot ready. They have to say it. I like for them to say it while they're doing it. So she puts her foot out and she says,
Right foot ready.
Right foot ready, and then she runs and she leaps across. And oftentimes at this point, the kids will have their right foot out and they'll say right foot ready, and then they'll run, but they might lead with their left foot over the mat. And that's okay, because at this age, we're just getting them knowing their right from their left. So as long as they are starting with the correct foot, I don't really sweat which foot is going over the mat at this point. So then they'll do the same thing on the other side, but they'll say left foot ready.
Left foot ready.
And then they'll run. And Riley's demonstrating really nicely. She's pointing with her left foot and then also leading with her left foot over the mat. But sometimes that doesn't happen, and that's okay. And then they get a little older. This is usually not within the same year. Maybe this is like when they're 6 or so. I want to start challenging them to lead with their right foot, or start with their right foot, and then also go over the mat leading with their right foot. So we talk about the right side of the room and the left side of the room and how we want to have the correct foot for our leaps on both sides and how both sides are important. So how I kind of trick them into doing this is I'll put out some sticky spots, is what we lovingly call these. And I'll put them out. You think that's about good? I kind of gauge it based on the kid's height of what I think like 2 strides is going to look like, because I want to set the spots out so that they're close enough to the mat that they can't run for forever, because sometimes what I see is if they start too far back, they start with their right foot ready, but then they run 6 or 7 times and they get off which foot they're on. So what I want to do is bring them closer to the mat so they don't have as much space to travel from their yellow spot to the object that they're leaping over. So I'm condensing it to encourage them to only take 2 steps. But we're not sweating that yet. All I'm telling them, the only feedback I'm giving them is I want you to stand on the yellow spot. Go ahead, Miss Riley. Stand on the yellow spot, show me right foot ready, and then usually I'll even come over to them and I'll say, this foot that you have pointed, that's the foot that's gonna go over the mat first. And so then trying to make that connection in their brains. So Riley's gonna show it beautifully because I know she can do this. Her arms are out on her T, and she goes, run, run, leap. Awesome. And I'm not really like sweating what the preparation is or what the steps are from the yellow spot to the red spot, but sometimes I'll see them maybe run 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then they'll stop and be like, oh, that's the wrong foot, and then they'll switch, and then do a little bit of an awkward leap over because they don't have room to prep. But they're understanding on the right side, we prep with our right foot, and then we leap with our right foot. So, Riley, can you demonstrate this on the left? She's got her left foot ready, and then she goes, run, run, left leg goes over. And depending on the age, sometimes if I think they're ready for it, if they show me how to do it wrong, show me you have your right foot ready, you have your left foot ready, and then she's gonna lead across, you have to back it up so you take an extra step. She's gonna have her left foot ready, but then she's gonna leap across with her right foot. And then if they're old enough, and I think that their emotions can handle it, I'll be like, oh, Riley, that was the wrong foot. You wanna go try one more time? And usually they're like, yes, yes, I wanna get it right. And so then they'll try one more time. No, you'll still start with the left foot. Ready, go. Run, run. Yes! And then I give them lots of positive feedback when they get the correct foot. Then, the next progression that we would go through is I would start to take this away, because the next thing that I want to start working on with the leap is we worked on what is an actual leap, transferring weight from one foot to the other in the air, and then somewhat preparation. But I also want to start introducing the musicality of a leap. So I start doing this at a really young age, and we love using an instrumental version of Wheels on the Bus. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. We love using that, and it's great if it's instrumental because then we put these vocals over that song. We just say, run, run, leap. And then to finish out the 8 count, usually this is in a ballet class, an intro ballet class, they find first position and they do 2 pliés, and to make it fun we say, shh, shh. Because normally at that age, they're making a lot of sound with their feet, so we're talking about moving softly through our feet, rolling through our arches so that we land nice and quiet. So, Riley can demonstrate this, and we would take away, for this exercise, we would take away all the props, because now they're concentrating so hard on the rhythm and the musicality of it. I don't want to have them also dealing with an obstacle that they have to get over. So we would just have them all the way against one side of the room, and they would do this all the way across. They would get to do it multiple times. Could you show it a couple times? Ready, set, here she goes. Run, run, leap. Shh, shh, run, run. She's gonna leap right off in her Beautiful. So they can do that all the way across the floor. So that's great because then they start to understand, oh, I can leap more than one time across the floor. A progression can take more than 1/8. It can be something that I can repeat across the floor. So that's great. Then, where are we at? We're probably around like the age of 8 now. It just depends on how quickly these concepts are clicking. And don't be afraid to stick with one concept for a while and keep it exactly the same. Use the exact same song every week. Don't change anything until you see everyone's getting it without any kind of reminders, and then you know that you can confidently move to the next progression. So now, I think we could start talking about, okay, so they've already got run, run, leap across. If it was a jazz class, I might not do the plies after. I might have them do some other kind of jazz skill across the floor, so I might have them do a 3-step turn and then run, run, leap. So it might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we talk about, oh, 7's the important number because 7's the number that we're going up in the air. So then I make them count out loud while they're doing it. You want to show that? Go ahead and just do a little 3-step turn or chasse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then run 5, 6, and leap on 7. Okay, she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then that's something that you could repeat across the floor as well. If you're working with maybe kids that are a little bit older and didn't want to do wheels on the bus and their plies. Then, this is something new that I've been working on with my kids, is getting them from run, run, leap into using a chasse as a preparation for a leap. So what I've been doing differently this year, and I've had a lot of success, is I go from taking the runs completely out, and all they get is one chasse as their prep. And I don't think you were young enough that you've done this with me, so I'm going to talk you through it. So if you're starting on this side, Riley, you're going to lead with your foot that's closest to downstage, or you're going to lead with your right foot. So she's going to do one chasse, and we talk about that's the preparation for the leap, the chasse. But that also means we're going to end up leaping with our left foot. So we're going to go chasse, left leap on that side. Yeah? So can you show that a couple times? Thank you. She's going to have her right foot pointed or her foot closest to downstage pointed, and all she gets is a chasse. Ready, set, here she goes, chasse, leap. Beautiful! And then she can do the same thing on the other side. So now you'll have your right foot pointed, and, you'll have your left foot pointed, and then you'll leap with your right. Ready, set, here she goes, chasse, leap. Nice! So I didn't used to teach that specific prep, because it is a little bit harder to just have the chasse. Usually you go chasse, step, leap. But taking out the steps, because what I see happening with kids is if they're used to going run, run, leap, then what will happen is if I ask them to add in their chasse, they'll go chasse, run, run, leap, and then they'll end on the wrong foot. And then they get really frustrated, and we get stuck at this level for way too long, and it's not clicking in their brains why this isn't working. So I just kind of X'd that and was like, no, we're just going to work on chasses. But I like it because what I've seen this year is just using the chasse and not letting them take the extra step is making them push a little harder, because it is harder if you don't have that extra step. You have to push with your feet and your legs to get up in the air. So then that's also training them to get a little more height in their leaps without having to even really break that down for them. It's just happening automatically. And so then, once I've got them doing chasse leap across the floor, can you maybe, I don't know if we can fit it in, but maybe skip back just a little bit, maybe do 2 of them across the floor. So you'll go chasse leap, hold, chasse leap, hold. And that's what I'm looking for. That's going to be like the signal for they're ready for the next thing. So you'll start with your right foot, chasse left, leap, chasse left, leap. Ready, set, here she goes, chasse, good, chasse, beautiful, nice job. So when I see them doing that across the floor, I know they're ready for the final prep, at least in jazz. I'm specifically teaching preparations for jazz. We're not even gonna go to Tombe Pas de Bourrée world today. So specifically for jazz, if I see that, Then I know we are ready to start. If we're on the left side and we're traveling to the left, we're gonna lead with our left foot, do one chasse, one step with our right to get us back onto the left foot so that we can do our left leap. This is the most, I would say, advanced preparation for a leap if you're not going to be doing some kind of like chasse into it and doing a turning leap, because it's going to give you the most power and the most height. So this is what we're working up to from the very, very young age of just running and leaping over something small and squishy. This is our end goal. This is what we have in mind. So Riley's going to come over here. She's going to have her left foot ready, and she's going to go chasse, step, leap. She's going to show how that's going to get her a little higher in the air, maybe. Ready, set, here she goes. Chasse, step, leap. Beautiful! Can you show it on the other side too? Here she goes. 5, 6, 7, 8. Chasse, step, leap. Gorgeous! And when I see them doing that across the floor, my work is done. Thank you so much for assisting me today, Riley. You did awesome. I hope maybe if you're a dance teacher watching this video, you picked up maybe a couple little tips and tricks that you can implement into your classroom. If you're not a dance teacher, I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. These are all the little things that go through our heads as dance educators of how we can effectively move our kids from one skill to the next and get them moving from so small, just running and leaping, over our squishy mat to doing what Riley's doing now. It's all progression, and it's all a wonderful journey. So I hope you had fun watching this video today, and we will talk to you soon. Bye!